right. Hey, how you doing today, Daven?
Good, thank you.
All right. Well, hopefully we don't have any issues with this Wi-Fi. I am sitting outside, but it's okay because I can definitely steal it from the neighbors. Just
Okay,
kidding.
good, good.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I don't even know their passwords. All right. Today we're going to talk about confidence. You ready for that?
I'm ready.
Okay, cool. So you are from Jamaica, Queens, New York, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, how was that? I've been to New York a couple times. I've been to the borough of Brooklyn, but I've never been to Queens.
Well, my grandmother lives in Brooklyn. I grew up in Queens, and I had a bunch of family in different boroughs like Harlem and Manhattan. But it was different growing up. I had a different upbringing. I grew up around a lot of women. I had my mom, my aunts, my grandma, and my sisters. So um, I guess it wasn't too rough. We grew up. We had stuff. We didn't have the most. It was just different. Will I go live in New York right now? No. I miss it. I'll go visit, and that's it.
Oh, I know that. I actually went to visit just a couple months ago and I really love the vibe, but I wouldn't want to live there either. I mean, the traffic alone is a turnoff for me. I just
Yeah,
can't.
yeah.
DC traffic is enough.
It's bad enough. In New
In
York's
New
worse.
York, it's like magnified.
Yep.
So you are currently serving in the military. You're a paralegal, so that's phenomenal. How long have you been serving?
8 years. I just hit 8 years in January.
Oh, that's nice. Cool. So if you decided not to do 20 and get out, at least you didn't have to be transferred to the IRR. So that's good.
Yep.
At
Yep.
least they'll leave you alone, let you be. So that's positive. So you are the owner of One Stop Shop. Yes, I said that slow because if I said it fast, it wouldn't have came out like that.
Nope.
So that is great. So it's basically a catering business and small. Sorry. Hold on, y'all. This is gonna be a blooper, but we're gonna keep it in here anyways. This wind is crazy. Okay, I'm trying to keep the paper from flying away.
If it fly away, we'll just go off the head, off
I'm
the
trying to
top.
keep this ring light from leaving me. It's a small private event service. You cater. You also create social media content, which I have definitely followed you, especially on your Instagram, which you have over 600,000 followers there. Boy, your food looks amazing.
Thank
First of
you.
all, I don't know how you are able to juggle making it look good and not burning it. Look good for us and not burning it.
Let's just say I eat a lot of food cold.
Oh, I was actually gonna ask you that too. Like, what do you do with all this food to stay so skinny? Because you be making some really good, healthy, hearty food. I mean, hearty food. Maybe not so healthy, but it be hearty as hell.
I'm lucky because my family is close. So both my family, my wife's family, they all live in the area. So it's more so like when I cook, I know everybody's gonna come over and eat the food, or I'll take the food to them just to get it out of my house. But everything I make is like if I'm not, I'll eat like a small portion of it, just like a little bit,
Wow.
and then I'm handing everything else out.
Wow. See, I don't have the restraint. I mean, if I go to a restaurant, I can have more restraint because I have to consciously make the decision as to what I'm going to order. But if I'm cooking it, honey, I don't have the restraint. Well, we ain't that far away, so we can definitely meet each other in
I
Woodbridge.
got you. I'll drop some more your way.
For real, because that food be looking good as hell. And so you're also the author of a cookbook called No Reservation Required. Hold on, let me pull it out for you. Oh, there go the paper. But we just don't let that paper go. This is awesome, people. If you do not have this cookbook, you need to get it. Okay. No reservation required. It is so phenomenal. And
Thank
what I
you.
really love about it, first of all, I am like a person who loves pictures. But look at this. Throughout this and throughout his social media posts, you will see his little mini me cam. And this is what I really think a lot of us are super like attracted to. Obviously,
Mhm.
your food attracts us, your personality is attractive. But little Cam is in the kitchen with you. Please explain to me. Like this is wonderful. How did Cam get interested in that?
So I've been cooking like for a long time, right? So around the time that my son was born, I was going through some things like mentally and physically. I had some issues with my legs, and this is before I had any surgery, any procedures, or anything like that. So when my son was born, I kind of wanted to make sure that I can do something to keep him active, like for us to both do together. So I'm gonna say maybe when he was about whatever age he was where he could like stand up and come to the counter and stuff like that, I had bought him this stool that he can like walk up. And it's like a step stool and he can come to the counter with me. So I did like my first video. It's had to been somewhere in 2020 for social media. And I just recorded him. I just let him play around with the food. It was a bunch of flour and like noodles and stuff like that. And I just recorded him. And it just seemed like it was something he was doing forever. Like he was only at the time maybe like a year old. But it just seemed like he was a natural with it. Like he was playing with it. He got the little chef hat on, he had his apron on. And he looked real good doing it. He looked like he wanted to be in front of the camera. I was telling him smile. He was smiling, he was talking, whatever he was saying, I don't know. But I knew at that point that that was something that I should get him involved with to do with me. It's really hard to do to have like a toddler in the kitchen with you while you're cooking, but he's just always been interested. So since that was something he was interested in, I wanted to keep him engaged by doing that. So he's a mess. He's a mess in the kitchen. Definitely a mess. There's always food everywhere, but he gets so excited. Like, a lot of kids want to play with toys. A lot of them like video games, and a lot of them get consumed with like iPads and stuff like that. But if he's in the kitchen, he'll play with food and flour and water all day long. So when I started the social media journey and like really going hard and going live and cooking on live and stuff like that, I wanted to add him so that people understand like how natural it was for him to do it and how me and him were able to maneuver just to show people like, father son time doesn't just have to mean like me kicking the ball with him outside or something like that, but just something as simple as us being in the kitchen together.
That's really awesome. That is awesome. I love to see not just you in the kitchen, first of all, but also just doing that with your son and
Yeah.
showing people that I remember like on social media a couple of weeks ago, it was like this huge thing on would people buy their sons like a kitchen set or something. Did
Yeah,
you see that? I thought it was like the most ridiculous thing.
I did.
Gender roles in 2022. Are we really having that conversation? It's just ridiculously silly. And I'm like, come on, keep Cam in the kitchen because Cam tell he is gonna be on Food Network right next to you. Y'all both gonna have your own show, and I'm
Once
gonna be right there watching
once I
it.
saw that post on social media, I went and bought him a bigger kitchen. So
Exactly.
like I heard that, I saw it, and I thought it was the most ignorant thing people could talk about with kids because when kids go to daycare and stuff, they have kitchens and daycares. So what's the difference? So I bought him
Exactly.
a bigger kitchen.
You have male chefs in the kitchen at restaurants, whether
Hmm.
that's Applebee's or, 5-star restaurants. I mean, where do you think it starts? It's just kind of
Exactly.
silly to me. But anywho, so I'm glad to see that you are having Cam in the kitchen.
Yes.
Oh, I really like that. Let me see. How much you gonna pay me for that name? Cam in the kitchen.
Came in the kitchen. That's gonna be his YouTube
You
name.
can have it for free. So growing up, it seems that just reading your story, that women in your life helped you gain your confidence. Talk to us a little bit about that.
So as I said, I grew up with a lot of women. I didn't really have my dad in my life. It was my mom and who raised her. It was her mom and my great grandmother more so. And the dynamics of that, I think I was my great grandmother's favorite because I was the first boy to be born into the family for like years.
Wow.
So I was very, very close to my great grandmother. And when I was younger, maybe around like 6, 7, 8 years old, my mother was working during the day and then going to school at night. So I spent a lot of time with my great grandma. So she would be in the kitchen. She taught me a lot of different things. When I was younger, I was a lot shorter. Like I'm 6'1" now. I was always the shortest kid. I was a little chubby kid.
Wow.
And I was really dark skinned. Like, believe it or not, I was more dark skinned than I am now. I don't know how that works, but maybe I was
Hey,
getting a lot
dark
of
skin. I love all skins.
so
Dark
so
skin.
I had no confidence though being dark
Yeah.
skinned.
Yeah, I can totally understand
I
that.
have a twin sister who was light skinned, and I have an older sister who were both light skinned, and
Wow.
my mom light skinned, my
Yeah.
great grandmother light skinned. So like I
Wow.
was also not just the only boy, but I
Yeah,
saw myself differently when I was younger.
exactly. And let's just keep it real. Like up until recently in our community, like there has been like this, I mean, there still is colorism, but it was very different for dark skinned individuals
Right.
in our community. It
Right.
always seemed like there was like this light skin privilege, and we still talk about it, and yeah, I'm sure that it still exists, but it's just something so beautiful now that we've learned to like accept and really admire like
Right,
natural hair and the dark skin. I mean, it's gorgeous. It's so beautiful. So I can
right.
completely understand exactly what you're talking about. Like because you were sort of like different. You know, you were
Mm,
like the black sheep per se.
really, really in my family, and it was something I couldn't understand. I didn't understand why I felt that way. But my great grandmother will always lift me up all the time. Like, she made sure that she paid the most attention to me, and she did what she didn't have. She would give me to make sure I had good clothes and my skin looked good, and
Cocoa
I
butter.
was yeah, cocoa butter,
Or
plenty
baby oil.
Vaseline. Um,
Vaseline. That Vaseline.
Making
Hey,
sure I was well groomed, like my haircuts and stuff like that. So, it was my great
right.
grandmother and my mom who really helped instill like you have to be more confident in who you are because you're not changing. Your
Exactly.
skin color is not going to go away.
Exactly.
I was short. I grew eventually, but my great grandmother always taught me like it's coming. Your
Yeah.
day is gonna come when people are gonna look at you and they're going to see you as something that you have to see yourself as well.
Yeah.
Like you can't keep seeing yourself as lower than or worse than because people are going to think differently and you just have to be confident about yourself. So it was something that, she instilled in me at an early age.
Right. So you basically said that when people started to believe in you, then that's when you started believing in yourself.
For sure. It started with them. It was always something I couldn't see. And to this day, whether we're talking about cooking, me in the military, just my regular work life, professional life, my personal life, it was just a lot that a lot of people saw in me that I couldn't see in myself. I did well in school, and my mother always told me, "Hey, you're gonna do good." So even when I had the A's, straight A's, I just still didn't feel good enough. When I
That
joined the
imposter
military,
syndrome.
right,
Heard
right,
of
I
that?
always felt like I wasn't the one. When I joined the military, I played everything low key. But then I started doing well. I learned my job really well. A lot of people gave me a lot of accolades, and they were still telling me like you're this person, and I have to. It really takes a lot for me to understand what that means. Like somebody else telling me what I am, and then now cooking. Like people tell me, I love your food. I love the way it looks. I love everything about this. And just kind words like that from other people help me really understand who I am to this day.
Well, I will definitely say I follow you on your social media pages, and I know that you said that you really like challenges, right? And so I see sometimes ask people, what should I cook next, which is a challenge, right?
Mhm.
And you always deliver on these challenges. And how does that give you more confidence?
I'm a competitive person. So challenging myself or someone else challenging me to do something and me actually seeing it through, like that's like a win for me more than anyone else. Like if somebody says, "Hey, you should try to cook this dish," and then I do it and then I succeed and then my family tells me, "Oh, this tastes great." I'm like, that's amazing to me. In the military, if somebody tells me you should go compete for this, or you should learn this different trade, or you should go, research this project, and then I come back and I give them those results, it's more amazing for me than it is for them because I'm like proud of myself at that point that I was able to accomplish that. So you challenged me, I met the challenge. I probably I'm probably feeling overwhelmed because I didn't expect to, meet that challenge. So when I do it, it's a great feeling.
No, it's so true. And I need people to understand that it's like if you are lacking confidence in yourself, just kind of try to figure out what it is that you want, whether it's on the outside, on the inside, personal, professional goals, and kind of write them down. And then tell yourself, what do you have to do? Like, what steps do you have to take in order to achieve those things? And then make a plan, right? It's a goal, it's steps, and it's a plan. And then you just have to do something every single day to get yourself, closer to that goal. And you have to have confidence. You have to have belief in it. And you have to be persistent. You cannot give up. You have to be the type of person who perseveres. And like he said, when you accomplish that first step in that plan that's towards that goal, you're going to get more confident. And with confidence, you become more motivated. And with more motivation, then you just continue to just snowball, and you just eventually, it just becomes kind of like an addiction.
Hmm.
You become addicted to yourself and to your abilities, and it's amazing. And for those other people, like the people around you who can do stuff that they maybe don't believe in themselves, um, don't believe in their abilities or their powers, challenge them, be confident in them, motivate them, empower and inspire them. Because sometimes people are just lacking someone like you. Sometimes they're just waiting on that match to strike their flame. And you can be that flame for someone else. And that's what I try to be with people. I see people, I try to get to know like their deepest desires. I try to really figure out what their talents are. And then I try to like spark it. Yeah,
Right.
I really do. Because you would be really surprised how people can grow and succeed just by someone else having confidence in them. Sometimes people can't find confidence in themselves, like you said, until someone else
Sees
has
it within them.
put it. Exactly. And so
Mhm.
I really just challenge everybody to do that with your loved ones, your coworkers, your friends, yourself. Just try to empower and inspire everyone because everybody needs a little bit of that from somebody.
Yeah, I get told quite often, like people every day, honestly, tell me, "Hey, you inspired me. You inspired me to do this," and it makes me feel amazing because I needed that same inspiration. There were times I looked to someone else for inspiration, and to be that for someone just feels amazing. Because if you're looking for what does confidence mean to you, like when I think about confidence, I have to figure out what it would take for me to be confident about any situation or anything that I do. And anytime you ask yourself that question, what is it going to take for me to feel confident? Like, those steps, what that means for you in whatever situation that is. And as long as you can just, chop the wood in front of you, figure out those steps and then do it, I think that just propels you into like, being a greater person, helping each other, helping other people do the same thing because you're just leading by example at that point.
Exactly. Well, I was going to ask you, what advice would you give someone who was struggling with
Oh,
confidence, but you just gave it. So I'm going to ask you this. So we've talked a lot about, what having confidence can do for you. What have you experienced in your life as it relates to having a lack of confidence? What has having a lack of confidence in your life done?
having a lack.
Yeah,
Um,
those times that you didn't feel so confident, on the contrary to confidence, what did that do for you?
lacking confidence has, I want to say, taken opportunities away from me. Um, and there's opportunities I may not even know what those are, but because I wasn't confident in myself, I didn't get to take advantage of those opportunities. Lacking confidence led to like me, having mental health issues, being unsure of myself, making other people around me unsure of, who I am. I'll give you one example. Um, I was supposed to go to aerosol school in I think somewhere around like 2016 or something like that, right? And I wasn't confident in myself to do it, and our unit only had like a few slots to go. So because I was not sure if I was going to be able to do it, I missed my slot.
Hmm.
A week after that, my command team made a bunch of us who had like a certain PT score go through the aerosol like obstacle course. We did like 3 days of aerosol training, pretty much what they would have done in aerosol school.
And you did great.
And they dogged us. We grinded it out, and I got through that 3 day trial, right? And I was able to get through it, but because I wasn't confident, I didn't go to the actual school.
Right.
I didn't get my aerosol wings, so I
Right.
could have done it. I was physically capable of doing it, but
Exactly.
the lack of confidence caused me to lose out on that opportunity. I didn't take advantage of it, and then I missed out on something that I could have excelled at.
Hmm.
So, just I want to say opportunities. That was one example. There's been plenty of other times, But that's what happens when you lack that confidence in yourself. You miss out. You miss out.
I will say that too. I do agree with that. You missed out on opportunities. And also back to what you said just about your mental health. Because I mean, like, oh, during the pandemic, I gained like 30 something pounds,
Hmm.
and my confidence really dropped because of that. And
Hmm.
as a result, it's like I gained, like anxiety, depression,
Hmm.
things like that, which was new to me because of that, right? Because like I didn't really like the way that I looked when I looked at myself, and that was very new to me. I've had anxiety, because I'm just like, anxiety to me, I always had it just because I'm just a high performer. So,
Hmm.
and then depression, I've had that for a lot of other reasons, but I've never had it because of the way that I felt about myself, my appearance at least. And it really, really crushed my confidence.
Hmm.
So I can definitely say lack of confidence could definitely lead to serious mental health issues. And so now that, I was able to set my goals and really stick to them, my confidence level is, you know, almost through the roof again. And I'm just a couple of pounds away from my goal weight. But I will definitely say the lack of opportunities and the mental health thing, you know, got to
To
get your confidence up.
to speak on the mental health one really quick, just to try to drive this one in, because of the mental health issues I was dealing with, because of a lack of confidence, I give you, I had surgery on both my legs.
Hmm.
So I have rods and screws in both my legs because I had some pretty bad like fractures in my legs, really bad injuries, right?
Hmm.
So because I couldn't do anything physically, I kind of started to slip mentally. And the lack of confidence that I had in myself to do physical things led to a lack of confidence in other things. Like, you know, that mental battle I was dealing with stopped me from believing in myself that I could still do work. You know what I mean? Like it beat me up so bad that I felt that I was no longer a high performer physically, but I couldn't perform my job normally. And that really messed with me even more. So it led to me no longer being confident in my actual abilities just because I was limited physically.
Hmm.
So, y- it's a battle. It's a battle when you do lack confidence because it starts to attack you in other areas.
Exactly. Well, I agree. Well, thank you so much for spending time with me today with us. And I do want to say that when I lose these last little 4 pounds, I'm coming right here for this cod because this is beautiful. It is so nice. Obviously, cod is a very light, healthy fish anyway, so I really
Hmm.
love this. And I'm absolutely obsessed with spinach. So anything with spinach, I will definitely try. So this is Cajun pan seared cod in red pepper and spinach cream sauce. It is recipe on page 56 of this book that y'all gonna get after you watch this interview if you don't already have it. No reservation required. We're
Thank
gonna put
you.
all the details at the end of this video. And please go and follow Dave. And where can they follow you at?
One Stop Chop on all platforms. I mean, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat, wherever, whatever's your flavor. I made myself available for all of them.
Don't worry, we're gonna put it all at the end of the video. Thank you so much. You take care of yourself, and I can't wait to watch you glow. I have a lot of confidence in your abilities, and I'm very happy that you too have confidence.
Well, thanks for having me. I really appreciated being on here, and it's moments like these that help to drive that confidence in me. That people like you believe in me and support me, and things like that. So I really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, you too. Have a good day.
All right, bye.
Bye. Hi there, it's me again. I'm here to bring you another final thought. But first, of course, I want to thank you because if you've gotten this far, that means you've watched the video. And I hope that you enjoyed the conversation with David as much as I did. Although I am a little salty because he didn't cook for us. But I do have his cookbook, so I guess I can go and make me something out of there. I'm not on a diet currently at the moment, so I really can just make anything that I want, and I will. But anyways, on to the final thought. You may not have been born with confidence, and you may not have had much confidence before you watch the video. But hell, you gonna learn today. You have to be proud of the small things. Surround yourself with supportive people. I know I've said that before. Yeah. You've watched the videos before this, you've heard me before. You have to surround yourself with supportive people and be you, right? We are more confident when we are ourselves, genuinely and authentically us. Learn to be more vocal and live in your truths. Stop crippling yourself with negativity. Even if you are not good, be confident. Act like you good, even if you ain't. Approach each obstacle in life with confidence, and you'll get through it. Just think, confidence can get you indoors in rooms you never expected to be in. Opportunity presents itself to those who are ready for it. So look yourself in the mirror. Yes, right now. Strike your favorite pose. Everybody who knows this is fine. Smile your best smile. That's right. And tell yourself you're confident. You are confident. See, it works.